Hi guys, I hope you are well. I hope you've had a really good week, and it's really great to be able to share with you again this morning. I wonder if many of you can remember 2012. Maybe some of you can remember that the Olympics were actually in London, and maybe you were even lucky enough to be able to go to some of the events that happened then, which would have been really cool. For me, I can remember 2012 for a different reason. I was in school and there was this big rumour going around that the world was going to end on I think December 12th, 2012. And I can remember being really scared. I was absolutely petrified that this was going to happen, that the world was going to end. They brought out a movie about it before the date, so I assumed that meant that, it was definitely going to happen. And I was really stressed about this. And I remember the night before, not being able to get to sleep. I was scared. I didn't want to go to sleep. And the next day, that when the world was meant to end, I had to go to school. Of all days, I was thinking, oh my goodness, the world's going to end and I'm just going to be in school. Rubbish. But obviously, I'm thankful that that didn't happen. And as you know, it didn't, because we're not in 2020. But I can remember being in 2012 and as a teenager being really scared that this was going to happen. It was all over the news. People were talking about it loads. And I don't know how the last few weeks have been for you. Maybe you've coped okay with being in lockdown and the situation that we're facing, and maybe for some of you it's actually been quite scary. You've been quite worried about people, about the situation, and also about maybe school and maybe your friends and family. And I just want to share with you from the Bible, from a story that I've loved since I was little called David and Goliath. I can remember reenacting it one Sunday at church for some reason, and one of my friends stood on a chair and I went up with a fake slingshot and stone, and she fell off the chair, which actually probably wasn't very safe. But anyway, so the story of David and Goliath, we have Goliath, who wants to challenge one of the Israelites to come and fight him, but he only wants to fight one of them. And none of them want to do it. Goliath's this massive dude, he's really scary. He's there all armoured up and with loads of weapons, and David says, I'll fight him. And David was a shepherd. He had spent years looking after sheep, and everyone was a little bit like, okay, you want to go fight him? Okay. And the Israelites offered David some armour. They gave him a helmet and some armour that he was then like, this is too heavy, I can't fight with it. So he doesn't take it and he goes to fight Goliath. And David comes up against Goliath with just a slingshot and a couple of stones. And just before David actually fights Goliath, he says, you come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. And I love this. Here's David in this moment with this big giant facing him, and he's coming up against it, saying, I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. And like I said, I don't know how you guys have found the last couple of weeks. Maybe you've enjoyed having some spare time to finally watch that TV show that you've been talking about watching. Or maybe some of you, like I said earlier, have found it really difficult. And maybe to you, the situation that we're currently in has felt like a little bit of a giant. Maybe it's something that you've really struggled with. And I want to encourage you, first of all, with some scripture from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, which says, for the Spirit the Lord has given us is not one of timidity, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. Guys, God is with us, whatever we're facing. He is for us. He's not against us. And it's okay if you've had days where you felt rubbish and a bit down about the whole situation that we're facing. I want to encourage you to take that to God. Be really honest with God about where you're at right now. And like David, going up against Goliath. So this, like I said, this may seem like a Goliath. With just a slingshot and a stone, and his trust in the Lord. And I pray that you can trust that God is with you and that he is for you and that he sees you in this situation right now and that he loves you. And I just want to finish off by sharing a scripture from John chapter 14, verse 27, which says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. Guys, I pray that you have a really good week and that you are encouraged and that you remember that God is with you no matter what you're up against. I'll speak to you soon.